Having a great one. I hope you guys have had a fantastic couple of weeks. I know I've had it's been a couple it's been a doozy to say the least. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, as always, if you guys want to check us out anymore, you can always find us on the YouTube side of things. That's youtube.com/xbombsports. We're also on the Twitch side of things as well, twitch.tv/xbombsports2. If you guys have any questions or comments you guys want to throw our way, you can always hit us up on all the wonderful platforms we're on, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. It's facebook.com/xbombsports, and Twitter and Instagram is also at xbombsports for both as well. Be sure to check those out. And, of course, any questions or comments that you guys have for us, too. You can hit us up at the email xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. And, of course, we will be answering your questions, too, as well as be talking about, of course, a lot of NFL. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Football is finally back. Oh, my God. I'm so happy. I'm so sick of baseball because it stinks here in the city of Chicago. And, of course, the Olympics are just, I'll get to that eventually here. But also, again, too, ladies and gentlemen, as well, if you're wondering about Blow the Whistle and all that stuff, too, as we know, we always like to do our little cross promotion with them, too. We are currently going to be off this week, more than likely. We're putting together some stuff to make sure that our shows are running more smoothly. We're going to actually be upgrading some of our stuff a little bit there, ladies and gentlemen, so don't you fret, mon frères. We're going to get you there real quick. But let's just get into this, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you're ready for another fun one. I'm very excited to finally be back on this. So let's get this one started because, as we know, again, football is back. And, of course, what does that mean? It's back in the city of Chicago. That's right. The Chicago Bears preseason has already begun as of the Hall of Fame game, which ended prematurely, unfortunately, due to some storms, which I thought was kind of weird because Ohio play in, like, the worst kind of weather. They will play a football game no matter what in Ohio. They do not care, okay? Thought it was a little odd, but I get it. Canton, Ohio, can't argue against them, I guess, right? Nobody can get electrocuted during a football game. I beg to differ. But it's true. The Bears played preseason, and holy cow, they're 2-0. I mean, if you ask anybody, if you're undefeated in the preseason, that really counts for something, right? Just ask a Baltimore Ravens fan. I mean, they know a lot more than anything, right? So it's nice to see that obviously the Bears, again, I'm not a fan, but it's nice to see that the Bears are actually undefeated for a while there. And throughout the preseason, they've had some really good moments that have looked extremely well. They've had a lot of promising opportunities for them, and certainly the one thing that has been very interesting to kind of see and watch at this point has been the growth, right? Everybody wants to know, well, what's going to be different about this team that we haven't seen already, right? There's a lot of that sort of energy flowing around. Quarterbacks new, right? New wide receivers, new defense, more or less. I mean, some staple points, of course, are staying, but they're adding in a few pieces here and there. Overall, though, this is a new look type of team. And the question that stands right now is, well, what are the specifics so far that we've seen, right? Because they've got 2 more preseason games, and then it's time to get into the regular season. So from the get-go, let's talk about the offense real quick, right? We'll break down both sides of this. Well, what's this offense look like? Well, it looks like it's in the 21st century. that's a huge plus. If you've been a Bears fan at any point in your life, or still are, my condolences to you, by the way, on that too. But you have probably lived through the nightmare of a team that has really not transformed their culture or their way of doing things, especially on an offensive side of the ball, since I joked with my guy Tyler here, like the 20s or 30s. Like, they haven't done any tweaking to their offense. Mind you, a few times they had a different look, and that was during the Mark Trestman era, which obviously was a bust. And then you had the obvious, the whole situation that went down with Matt Nagy, where they tried to look like a passing offense, but obviously that clearly did not ever play out the way they wanted it to. And it's a shame. It's a shame, and it's unfortunate, but at the same time, this is a different type of NFL team now that we've kind of found ourselves being placed with, right? This is a new quarterback. It's a new wide receiver. It's a new running back. There's a lot of new pieces here that are starting to figure out and put themselves together and make it happen, right? That's the biggest gist of this right now, is that we have we are looking at a Bears team that is trying to be more modern. When the NFL is quarterback-centric and your wide receivers are your biggest playmakers, the Bears had often been a team that had always said, hey, we're going to run the ball. We're going to have really, decent quarterback play to be able to be accurate. And then, we let the defense do a thing. And that still works to some degree in the NFL. But long-term, you got to have the quarterback. You got to have the guy, that quarterback that can make the difference. Now, is Caleb Williams going to be the answer? That's going to be the question that gets asked constantly throughout the year. But look, first preseason game, he doesn't play. But what you get to see is Shane Waldron's offense. And I'll be honest, looked pretty good to me. I mean, Brett Rippon was in there, and he's a backup, third-string, average, subpar quarterback, whatever you want to call him, right? But he looked pretty good. Yeah, it's against the third and the fourth strings, right? They're the guys who are probably going to get cut and not do very well. But I don't know. Overall, I thought the offense looked really productive. I thought with Caleb Williams in there over this past weekend, I thought it looked really good too. I thought he looked really good. Everybody looked like they were in a fluid motion, and it looks like it's taking form of a modern-day 21st century, 2024 NFL offense, which is something that the Bears, again, have not had. They have had guys who have tried to attempt to make them look modern, but for some reason there has always been something that has made them adverse to that change, and a lot of times it's been, you got the quarterback thing wrong, right? You tried it with Mitch Trubisky, it didn't work. You tried it with Justin Fields, it didn't work, and we'll get into that stuff here soon too. But overall, offense looks like it's moving in the right direction. And then there's the defense, right? The defensive side of the ball for the Bears right now looks extremely aggressive and carry and all the. I mean, they look like a defense that's going to be at the top of the league again, as if they weren't already. It looks like they're going to be back in that zone of we're going to dominate. Right? I mean, for what they're doing right now, they have a really good set scheme with an incredible list of players that are extremely talented. The thing that they just have to do right now is fill in the minor gaps here and there, right? Find an edge rusher, get a defensive tackle, or rather figure out the three technique in the defensive tackle situation there, right? Figure out if Kyler Gordon or Tyreek Stevenson are going to step up, I think, and be the number two. I think it's going to be Tyreek Stevenson, with Kyler Gordon being your nickel corner. But overall, I would say that what we're looking at as far as the Bears' defense, it looks like they're going to be pretty strong this year. Jalen Johnson had a career year. He got paid. The question is now going to be, can he manage that money? Can he still live up to that hype? He's the leader on the defense, right? Vocally, he's going to be the guy that's outspoken. And then you got a guy like Jaquan Brisker who, when he's healthy, he's easily one of the best hitting safeties out there in the league, right? Standing question for him is he's just got to, can he stay healthy? Because then he is the guy that is the backbone of that defense. I mean, you've got T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, and those guys make plays too. Excuse me. But they're nowhere near the impact players that those guys are. In the NFL, 5 most important things that you can use right now: quarterback, offensive tackle, edge rusher, cornerback, wide receiver. I put them in that order. You can put them in whatever order you want to. But quarterback, more than likely, is going to be like the top spot on top, right? You need that guy. But outside of that, on defense, you need an edge rusher, and you need cornerbacks or defensive backs, really, right? And what the Bears have right now is they have defensive backs, right? You have Kevin Byard, you have Jaquan Brisker, Johnson, Stevenson, Gordon. You go down the list, they've got guys all over this team. They just had a guy here with a pick 6 in this last preseason game, and that was really impressive. This defense has a lot of moving pieces to itself. Now, edge rusher is going to be the biggest talk of the town right now. Montez Sweat traded for, really solid trade, made the difference. He led the Bears and the Commanders in sacks last year. That's not a mistake. That's real. Led them both with about 6 sacks apiece. He had 12.5 sacks over the season. Imagine if that would have been with one team, what that might have been. That shows how good he is. And I always thought that he was kind of a middle of the road. I don't know if this guy's really that good. No, he's really that good. I was wrong about that one. But now it comes to, okay, well, who's going to be opposite end of him? DeMarcus Walker has not really proven to be worth his weight in gold that they paid, which they didn't really pay him a lot, but they did pay him enough that would quantify him to be the starter. Now, he's talented enough, I think, to be able to put on an extra, I would say, like 10 pounds, move to the inside and play defensive tackle. Austin Booker, the rookie right now, looks pretty good. He's about the same size as Montez Sweat, 6'6", 245. Solid speed, edge rusher, really good size, really good bend. He's very much what Leonard Floyd was when the Bears took him. But there's a lot more technique to his game that I think has been solidified through probably working against some better tackles in the Big 12. Where Leonard Floyd, listen, he was a stud at Georgia, and he certainly played against the best tackles in college football in the SEC. But Leonard Floyd's work ethic, I think, always fell by the wayside. I don't think he ever truly put in the effort to be a great linebacker, but he also was on a bad team, too. I also can't fault him for that. But this is a kid who seems to have a motor. He seems to be motivated. He wants to be good. He seems to have the ability to be that talented edge rusher that can go get the quarterback. So they may have a guy there. They may have a guy there as a rookie that can start as a fifth-round draft pick, which is really impressive, right? That shows a lot. And a lot of people said there's a lot of value to this kid and his opportunity and his ability to be able to play at that position. So I'm impressed with him. But obviously there's going to be an abundance of haters. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be coming with a lot of different opinions about the Bears and all the stuff and everything that's going on with them, right? And how's everybody doing and the biggest one that I see taking away of is obviously Caleb Williams, right? Still to this point, after 2 preseason games, I see all the vitriol, all the slings and arrows shooting at Caleb Williams. The most recent one obviously went pretty viral. Former Giants wide receiver Amani Toomer was on a podcast and basically made the claim that after the story got out by Kevin Byard, who went on Mully and Haw and said, hey, Caleb went out and said, hey, guys, maybe we kind of clean up the locker room a little bit so that the custodians don't have to do all the work, kind of help them out a little bit, make sure the locker room's clean. A lot of people praise Caleb Williams for that. Amani Toomer went out and said that was something that he thought was disrespectful. He didn't think it was necessary. He thought it was too extra. He called him Russell Wilson 2.0, which was obviously a slight at him being a quarterback, right? Kind of calling him, because you're being nice, you're being fake, which I can't believe that we've come to this point now in just life where it's like, yeah, being nice, by the way, means you're being phony. I don't understand that at all. I don't think anybody ever will. But I don't get where he got so upset about it. I think he's upset because, like, Plexico Burress said on his radio show that he did with LeVar Arrington and TJ Houshmandzadeh, he said, man, he's just old school. I don't know why anybody's surprised with this. I get that. But, dude, just because a guy's trying to kind of step up and be a leader, you're going to call him out for it and say, I think he's doing too much? That's what he's supposed to do. He's the quarterback. Quarterbacks are expected to be leaders. Quarterbacks are expected to be the top dogs. They're expected to be the best guys in the locker room, right? They handle the ball more than anybody else. They're the ones that are in control. They're the ones that are calling the shots. They're the ones that are going to take the blame, that are going to be hit with the vitriol when things go bad, right? But they're also going to get, the praise when things go right. And you're going to call a dude out because, what? He wanted to make sure that everybody kind of made sure the locker room looked kind of nice? That's ridiculous. And, I said on Blow the Whistle, I think part of the problem that comes with Caleb Williams is that it seems like people that are over the age of 40 and up, right? Or 40 and up, whatever you want to say, basically don't think this kid's going to be any good because they've read so much on the media. They've got into that QAnon conspiracy theory thinking of him, like everything that went on social media that was talking about him, about piece of the franchise, and he doesn't want to play for the Bears. All that stuff they saw on Twitter and Facebook and all that nonsense, they just bought hook, line, and sinker into it, and you can't change their minds. There's a good portion of the people, I think, that are in that. I do think now there's another part of it, and I'm going to play a little bit of therapist, if I may, for the Bears fans out there. I think there's some of you out there that are Bears fans that you don't like Caleb Williams because you were wrong about Justin Fields and you were wrong about Mitch Trubisky because you had all the trust in the world that those guys were going to be the next great superstar quarterback. And because they didn't pan out to be those guys, you now are so upset and angry and furious about the fact that they didn't work and that you were wrong about it, that in fact you're now passing that on to Caleb. And you think that he's the issue. Folks, it's misdirected anger and frustration that you have. It shouldn't be directed at the new quarterback. It should be directed at the people who run the franchise. The McCaskies. They hired the GMs. They hired the presidents. They hire the people that are in charge, right? They're the ones that have put these people in power that have made the decisions for the Bears. So your anger is directed at a quarterback who's done nothing wrong and has been nothing but the nicest guy in the world, who has done everything to be the perfect athlete so far for Chicago. He's given no reason for you to hate him other than the potential of you're jealous or you envy him or something, right? More than likely, you're upset because the quarterbacks that you put all your energy into previously did not work out. And that's okay. It's okay that it didn't work out in that favor. I just hope that all of you can give him a chance because I think he's going to be very good. I do. David is reluctant to say so. He thinks he's doing too much. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but David is a little reluctant to say he's going to be a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be a great quarterback. I'm telling you I think he's going to be a good quarterback who can potentially be great and maybe even become amazing. He is a different type of player at that position than the Bears have ever had. Now, I know we were saying the same thing with Justin Fields, but Justin always lacked a little bit of something. Something was always missing there. Right? He has the skill, he has the talent, but so did Cam Newton, and so did Vince Young, and so did a lot of quarterbacks that are very much similar to what he is. Lamar Jackson and him were on the same level, I would say, but Lamar Jackson has since, I would definitely say, pulled back on the reins of being, well, I can run the football, and kind of gone, if I'm going to survive in this thing, I have to be able to learn how to stay in the pocket and throw a football. Steve Young once said it. And Steve Young's one of the greatest, if not the greatest scrambling quarterback maybe of all time. You have to be able to stay in the pocket and deliver the football on time to your receiver. It's pretty simple, folks. But Justin didn't grab those concepts very well, obviously. He struggled with reading offenses. He struggled with being able to get rid of the ball on time. There's all kinds of reasons as to why he did or did not work or whatever the case is, right? And I hope he does work in Pittsburgh. I hope he does get the opportunity with the Steelers to be able to do something magical. Sure, I don't wish him any bad luck. I don't wish him any bad ohms. I hope he does great. But Caleb Williams for the Bears, I think, is going to be something that is transcending for them. I'm transcending. I'm going to use that word. He takes them to another level. They go beyond what you have always thought they could be. They could be a playoff team. They could also win a playoff game. I'm not going to sit there and claim they will. I think they're still going to be 7-10, 8-9. But I do think you will see a major uptick in the production of their offense. And I think that is key, that's critical, that's necessary for this franchise to get up to that next level. You want that new stadium to get approved? You want people to buy in to the idea that your franchise is moving in the right direction? This is the way to do it. This is the right way to do it. I'm happy for Chicago. I'm really happy for Chicago. I hope that they can continue to grow and we see them take it to the next level. It would be great to see them back in a Super Bowl. Will it happen? We're going to find out. We will find out. This team is ready to roll. To quote Rich Eisen, they're ready to roll. They may not win every game, but they should win all the games they're supposed to and stay competitive in the games that they probably shouldn't. If they do that, and they show progress, I think they're in the right direction. Obviously, let us know your thoughts. What do you think about the Bears? What do you think about their situation going on right now in Chicago? We want to comment down below. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a fun, interesting year. I'm actually excited to watch the Bears franchise this year. I'm kind of excited, actually. And I haven't been able to say that in a long time. I'm still not going back to the franchise. They were in an abusive relationship, and I think that's part of the problem with you guys. You were in an abusive relationship with the Bears, but you still want to stick by their side. That's fine. That's fine. You should get out of there while you still can, but I get it. You love them. You bring them chocolates and flowers because you still love them. They do that one thing that makes you love them every time. They bat the eyes, whatever it is, right? I get it. Just remember, you can always date before you commit to somebody too, right? You can date around a little while before you say hard commit on that person. It's okay, but to each their own. Folks, that's going to do for the Bears stuff. But when we come back, we're going to play a game that we haven't played in years now. It's been a couple years now, and we're bringing it back. It's Yay or Nay coming back here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. We'll be right back.
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go.
Psst. Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that'll have you craving more? Taco Bell.
All right, can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
Wear your best attitude. Feel the power. Run towards your goals. Make each footprint count. Believe in yourself. Mark the difference. Just do it.
Celsius, the fastest growing energy drink in America. 0 sugar, low calories, and 200 milligrams of caffeine. Celsius is the ideal drink for anyone who wants to get the most out of their day. 4 distinct flavors: orange, kiwi guava, wild berry, white peach. Drinking Celsius prior to fitness activities has proven to accelerate your metabolism, burn body fat, and provide essential energy. Celsius. Live fit. The official drink of Chad Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. I'm still Andrew Valentin. I hope you all are enjoying this one. We just got done talking about the Bears, their preseason. I gave them a lot of love and praise, just in case anybody's wondering. I did not scold them. I instead scolded the fans that are still being so prickly and skeptical and angry and all kinds of stuff for whatever reason it might be. So, sorry, not sorry. How about that? To all the Bears fans out there that are still pretty upset about this Caleb Williams stuff. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to a fun game that we haven't played in a long time. It's Yay or Nay, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We haven't done Yay or Nay in a while. Now, normally, I would have a co-host on here, so I would be able to ask him. And we played a little bit of Yay or Nay on the AFC on Blow the Whistle, so you guys can definitely check that out on the next podcast that we put out there for Blow the Whistle. But I thought I would just give you guys my yay or nay on the NFL teams. Obviously, if you don't know Pro Football Focus, they always do these things where they kind of break down the teams and they give like reasons for optimism and reasons for like why the team might be doing really well. So I thought it would be pretty good. We go through some of these NFL teams that I have. We have the AFC South and North for today, and we'll give the yay or nay on why there is reason for optimism for why they will do well, why they will be potentially a playoff team, maybe even a contender, let's say, shall we? So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into this. It is NFL yay or nay reasons for optimism. Here we go. First up, it's the Houston Texans. Their reason for optimism: a loaded offense gives the team Super Bowl hopes. For me, I would say it is a yay. I give the Houston Texans the thumbs up on that one. I think that they have a lot of opportunity in front of them right now to be able to be a competitive team, win the division, and possibly from there be able to ascend to that next level of being able to compete for a Super Bowl. Is it going to happen right now this year? No, not necessarily. It could take a little bit of while. It could be a minute or so. But overall, I think the Texans have just enough for this year, right? More than anything, right? Stephon Diggs adds another element to the receiving core. Nico Collins really came on at the end there, really looking like a solid possession receiver. Nothing I would say to really brag home about. Tank Dell is a special player. Where he's going to fit in this offense is going to be very interesting because I think he's more of a gadget guy right now, but he's got Tyler Lockett type of ability, right? From gadget player to actual number one wide receiver ability, I think is what Tank Dell could really have for himself. I like it. I like it. I like their offensive line. Again, C.J. Stroud's incredible. Adding a Joe Mixon with Damian Pearson, that running back, that backfield absolutely is going to help them out a lot, take the pressure off of C.J. Stroud. This team is really well set up to be able to attack and have an offense that can compete with the rest. So I would say it's a yay. I would say it's a yay on that one. All right, next, yay or nay on the Indianapolis Colts. Reason for optimism is Anthony Richardson has returned. He's back. He's back. The rookie quarterback last year who only played a handful of games. He's back. Yay or nay on the reason for optimism on this one? I'm going to say it's a nay. I think Anthony Richardson really does fit Shane Steichen's offense very well. Obviously, we saw it with Jalen Hurts. This is a bigger version of Jalen Hurts. I just don't know if Anthony Richardson is that guy yet or not. I mean, his time at Florida was very minimal. Not that we haven't seen quarterbacks that have had minimal success in college and had a lot of success in the pros. But injuries have really kind of hurt his career for his football life in general through college and now the pros. We didn't get to see a lot of him. And the times that we did, he was very sporadic. There's a lot that you still need to work on and adjust with him. Now, does he have the talent to do it? Absolutely. But I don't know if long-term he's going to be the answer for the Colts as far as like, oh, this is the guy that's going to take him to the Super Bowl or even get him to a playoff game. I don't know if I can see that in him. I like him. I think he's a fun guy. I think he's an interesting character, and I think he fits well for what that offense is and what that team is too. He adds an extra element of excitement to that roster. And they added a weapon in Adonai Mitchell, obviously, at wide receiver. They've got protection for him up front with one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. The defense is still very well packed together. It's just him being back. I don't know if I can say that's a reason for optimism for the Colts. All right, next, yay or nay, reason for optimism for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence leads a potentially explosive passing attack. I've thought about this a lot. I really have. I'm going to say I think it's a yay. I think Trevor Lawrence, first off, I am higher on Trevor Lawrence than most people are. People want to knock him for last year. Last year he was banged up and hurt, and that offense was all over the place as far as receivers and passing attacks go, right? He did not have the full strength of his offense at any given time. So I'm not going to sit here and point the finger at Trevor Lawrence and say he's a bad quarterback. Is he maybe a little bit too overhyped? Yeah, probably. But he was the number one pick. This is a kid that did lead Clemson to a national championship as a freshman. Let's not downplay how talented he is. He's one of the best quarterback prospects we've seen probably in a long time. It's just a matter of, can he be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? That's something we still have to determine. But within the offense that Peterson has allowed him and provided him, I think he works really well. You've added Brian Thomas Jr., great downfield threat, best downfield deep threat wide receiver in the NFL or in college last year, now going into the NFL. Gabriel Davis is a great downfield deep ball guy too. He just can't stay healthy, and he has to be more consistent. They have the pieces there. Evan Ingram is one of the more talented tight ends right now in the league, and everybody thought he was a bust. Thought he was washed. And you've got Travis Etienne, who absolutely is electrifying when he's healthy. Obviously, last year he got hurt, but when he's healthy, he's one of the most dynamic running backs we've seen. I have to give this a yay. I think they do have one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL, easily. They're in that top 3, top 5 conversation, I would say, as far as passing attacks go. They've got the speed. They've got the talent. They've got the opportunity. I'm going to say it's a yay for the Jaguars. I like the direction that they're going in offensively. I like the way that team is starting to build itself out. I think they're going to challenge the Texans this year. That's where I'm at with them. Absolutely a yay. Next, for the AFC South, we've got the Tennessee Titans. Yay or nay on their reason for optimism is the offensive infrastructure is much improved. Okay, so people think I got a gripe against Tennessee. I don't. I like Nashville. I do. I like Nashville a lot. Vegas is really, it's not Vegas, but it's nice. But I agree with the statement. They have improved their offensive infrastructure. I do not necessarily agree with the reason for optimism, so I'm going to say it's an A. We don't know if this receiving core is going to work, right? DeAndre Hopkins, first off, is now injured and out possibly 6 to 8 weeks, right? So probably your best receiver is out right now. Calvin Ridley got a ridiculous amount of money from the Titans because I think they're desperate to prove that Will Levis is their quarterback. Treylon Burks has not really played any sufficient minutes on the field enough for me to be able to say if he was worthy of a first-round draft pick or not at wide receiver. The offensive line has certainly improved. I don't know if J.C. Latham is going to be the answer, but I think he's a big body that can possibly at least, if anything, get in guys' way. Just needs to keep working on the blocking scheme a little bit more and the footwork. Skoronski's been solid at guard. I just don't know if Levis is the answer, though, there, too, and that's the biggest question mark. Like, yeah, you lost Derrick Henry. Okay, well, you know what? As much as you love Derrick Henry, he is not the entirety of the Titans' offense. He was not. He truly shouldn't have been, or I should say. He's in Baltimore now. Good for them. We'll get to that. But Tennessee, Tony Pollard, Najee Spears, that's a decent running attack. It's really going to come through the bulk of can your quarterback deliver. I think Will Levis is a good quarterback. I think he can be a good quarterback. I just don't know if he's going to deliver for the Tennessee Titans. He's like another notch below Ryan Tannehill with a better arm, I would say. Right? That's kind of where I put him at right now. If he shows more progress, yeah, let's put him higher. But right now, he's kind of just a middle-of-the-road quarterback that still has a question mark on him because we don't know the full extent of what he can do until this year, I think, is over. And then we'll get a better picture of who he is as a quarterback. Like him, I just don't think that's I don't think that's the mindset to take for the Tennessee Titans, to be honest. I don't agree with that. Reason for optimism at all, I'm going to say it's an A. All right, and now let's move into the AFC North, shall we? So we move into the Baltimore Ravens. The reason for optimism for this team, it's pretty plain and simple according to Pro Football Focus. They say they are still stacked with talent. And I'll be honest, it's a yay. As a Bengals fan, as a Burrow fan, I don't want to admit it, but you have to, right? They still have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield is an incredible threat, right? He's an incredible threat. Add Mark Andrews to their passing attack and what Zay Flowers seems to be potentially growing into, you have Baltimore now putting together the pieces to say, we can throw the football some. Like Rashad Bateman and all those guys don't really even matter that much because you seem to have found your maybe number one wide receiver, and you definitely have one of the top 3 tight ends in the NFL right now, as long as he's healthy, of course. The offensive line seems to have really fixed itself. There's still some questions, of course, but overall, the Ravens seem to have found something that works for them in their favor. And then their defense is loaded, right? Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton's one of the best. Roquan Smith adds the element to him. Justin Matabuke being a defensive tackle, right? They've got Owe coming off the edge now, right? They have playmakers across the board on that defense and on that offense. This team, while still has a few marks here and there that you kind of go, could the receivers be better? Could the offensive line use a little bit of adjusting? Sure. But overall, Baltimore, absolutely. They're stacked. Their roster's great. It's a yay for me from the Baltimore Ravens. All right. Yay or nay for the Cincinnati Bengals? Reason for optimism? Joe Burrow is back with a vengeance. Very comic book corny, if you will. I agree with the statement. Call me biased. I know. I don't care. I like Joe Burrow. I think he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Yes, he's been hurt a lot. But when he's been healthy, he's been one of the best. He's played like an MVP candidate. I don't think anybody can deny that. Joe Burrow's ability to be able to quarterback the Cincinnati Bengals as well as he did in 2021 and take them to the Super Bowl and just be one play away from possibly winning the Super Bowl is incredible. It's incredible. It's unfortunate that we don't get to see the full extent of what that franchise, I think, could have been had they reached the pinnacle of winning a Super Bowl, because perhaps then we would see them at an even greater height, let's say. But they're still extremely talented. They've got a lot of questions to answer, again, like every other team does, of course, right? Because you've got T. Higgins, who wants a new contract. Jamar Chase is going to be out of contract soon. He's going to want a new deal. On top of that, your defense, you got a few guys on defense you need to kind of sort out and figure out who's going to be the starters at the cornerback positions, and working with Logan Wilson at linebacker, and who's going to be the edge rushers. Are you going to get Trey Murphy into the game? The running back situation. There's questions on this team, don't get me wrong. But Burrow being back with a vengeance, when he's healthy and he's on his best game, he's one of the top quarterbacks, and he takes the Bengals from here and puts them to there. They go to the next level with him and beyond. It's a yay. Absolutely a yay. Next, Cleveland Browns. Oh, man, reason for optimism. The defense will always give them a chance to win. I got to go with a yay. I don't like it. I got to go with a yay, though. They anytime that defense is played to their par, they have every opportunity to win games, right? Cleveland absolutely could clean everyone's clock if their defense would play all 4 quarters on both sides of the ball, I believe. They would destroy people. They've got easily one of the best cornerback tandems in Emerson Jr. and Denzel Ward. Their linebackers are solid. They've got the best defensive player, I think, in the NFL. Maybe the best player in the NFL in Myles Garrett. That team is studded on defense. The questions are all going to sit on offense, of course. Is Jerry Jeudy going to be able to complement Amari Cooper? Is the offensive line, who's one of the best in the NFL, are they going to be able to stay healthy? And then, for the love of God, is Deshaun Watson going to be able to deliver on the contract that he has signed with the Browns? I mean, I'll take $230 million fully guaranteed myself if it just means standing around on the sidelines. Perfectly fine with that. I'll take the Ben Simmons contract or the Deshaun Watson contract any day. Oh, man. And then obviously you got to wonder if Nick Chubb, if he's going to be 100%, right? I don't even know if he's even going to play this year or not. I haven't heard any sort of status on where he's at as far as his recovery goes. But as far as the defense goes, is that a reason for optimism? Sure, it's a reason for optimism. They did go 12-5 or 11-6, whatever it was, with Joe Flacco at quarterback. Competent starter can lead you a long way. I don't know if the Browns are going to the Super Bowl, though. And Kevin Stefanski's a good enough offensive coordinator that I think he can do things to help that team. I'll give him a yay. It's like on the line of like wanting to be a nay. But I'll give him a yay for now. So that's where I'll stand with the Browns. And finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, good old Pittsburgh. It is stability at quarterback and offensive line as their reason for optimism. I said this on Blow the Whistle. I agree with half of that statement, but because I only agree with half of the statement, it's got to be a nay. I got to give it a nay. The part of the statement I agree with, quarterback. You've got two of them. Russell Wilson gives you the actual stability to be competitive and win because of his veteran mindset and his ability to progress through his reads a lot faster and realize that he's in a one-read option offense that will allow him to be able to make quicker pace throws very fast, similar to what he had in Seattle back in the 2010s when he went to back-to-back Super Bowls and won a Super Bowl with them, right? This is very similar. Justin Fields adds the element of being a explosive, dynamic playmaker who still needs a lot of work in terms of learning to read defenses and progressing through his reads quicker, getting his footwork ready, not being so timid and wanting to take off the moment that pressure's on him. There's a lot to his game that you can like. I don't think he's going to be the starter. But he does give you stability at quarterback. It's the offensive line that's the issue. They're very young. Rookies now, possibly going to be plug-and-play tackle, starter, or at center, guard. Those are good finds. But that means that there's going to be a lot of lapse in judgment. There's going to be a lot of getting caught on your heels. There's going to be a lot of moments where I think that offensive line is going to show signs of being inexperienced. Najee Harris will try and hit the hole, and there'll just be two defenders right in his face because Frazier didn't get the block, or Fashanu didn't, or not Fashanu, but Fatanu didn't get the edge rusher at the right time. These are the kind of things that you have to be, I think, aware of. It's not that they can't be good. It's just that right now on paper, you look at them and you go, well, the names are nice, and the Steelers always find guys to develop. They're just really young. They're just very, very young. If you're talking about reason for optimism down the line, sure. But they're talking about right now. And I can't really agree with that statement fully. Russell Wilson adds another dynamic to this offense that they had in Ben Roethlisberger when he was at his healthiest and at his best. Don't mean that's going to go and win a Super Bowl, but they have the ability, I think, to compete, maybe even win the division in some sort of fashion because they do have still one of the best, if not the best, defense in the NFL. Right? Go 11-6, make a playoff, win the playoff game. I fully believe they can do that. But I do think the offensive line is going to come with this lapse. So it's not that there's no reason for optimism. I mean, I'm giving them a lot of optimism. I'm giving them a winning record and a playoff win potentially. But I don't know if you can wholeheartedly say that this is enough on the offensive line to say, oh, we've got our quarterback protected. It just looks good on paper now. Excuse me. Once they get out on the field, it's going to be a different story. They've looked good so far in preseason. We just got to see more of it. I got to get to at least like week 3 or 4 to get a good idea of exactly what we're looking at with the Steelers' offensive line. But quarterback-wise, stability's there. We'll see if the O-line can bring it too. Be interesting, folks, but that's going to do it there for the first reasons for optimism. Obviously, there's a lot more that we want to do. We're going to do a few more of these for the AFC, finish those up, and then we're going to get into the NFC at some point for reason for optimism. We're going to try to see if we can get these done before the preseason is over with. I was hoping to do this a little bit sooner, but it's okay. We still got them, so let's use them while we got them, and we'll go through them as the weeks continue on, and we'll see if we agree or not. I'm sure a lot of you are probably screaming through your phones or at your computer screens right now telling me, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, that's fine. That's the yay or nay, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, I hope you guys let me know yay or nay on any of these that I just named right now for the AFC North and South. Would you agree or disagree? Do you think yay or nay on any of these? Reason for optimisms? Comments below. Let us know. We want to hear from you guys as always. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to answer your fan questions. We got a couple here that I'm really excited to kind of get about, just to kind of recap what's been happening over the week. Pretty big. There's a lot more that I would like to get into, but these are just kind of the big ones that really stuck out with people trying to ask me questions. We're going to answer your questions. That's coming up next here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go.
Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that I have you craving more? Taco Bell.
Can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
Wear your best attitude. Feel the power. Run towards your goals. Make each footprint count. Believe in yourself. Mark the difference. Just do it.
Celsius, the fastest growing energy drink in America. Zero sugar, low calories, and 200 milligrams of caffeine. Celsius is the ideal drink for anyone who wants to get the most out of their day. 4 distinct flavors: orange, kiwi guava, wild berry, white peach. Drinking Celsius prior to fitness activities has proven to accelerate your metabolism, burn body fat, and provide essential energy. Celsius. Live fit. The official drink of Chad Podcast.
And welcome back, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin. Again, I hope you all are having a fantastic rest of the day. If you guys have been watching and listening and all that good stuff, we just got done talking about the Bears at the top of this show. We got done talking about the doing a game, yay or nay, with the NFL. Obviously, giving the reasons for optimism. We're going to go through some of those more along the way throughout the weeks, of course, for the NFL as well. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you guys want to follow any more of us, of course, we're at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com for any questions or comments you guys may have. So please feel free to send those in, because it's questions time, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's time to answer your fan questions, as always. You can also hit us up, too, as well, on the X-Bomb Sports Twitch and YouTube as well. That's youtube.com/XBombSports. That's twitch.tv/XBombSports as well for any questions or comments. They'll pop up, and we'll be able to see them. We can answer them for you guys. If not now, we can always answer them at a later time, too. You can also hit us up as well at XBomb Sports on Twitter and on Instagram too, or at facebook.com/XBomb Sports for any questions or comments as well through the messenger, through anything like that. We want to always hear from you guys. We always want to thank you guys too for all the amazing questions and comments. Some of you guys are weird. Some guys are very strange, but we like that. We like the fact that our fans are very unique, shall we say. Very unique, of course. But let's get to these fan questions. Ladies and gentlemen, the first one we got up, this one comes from Michael. Michael is from, where are you from, Michael? Michael's from Iowa. Of course he is. Just kidding. Michael's from Iowa City in Iowa. He asked us the question. He said, I've been watching a lot of the Olympics lately. I got to say I've been really enjoying them. I would say these Olympics, though, at the same time, too, I've not been paying attention to all of them, but I was wondering, you guys have talked about the Olympics in the past. Do you guys, what do you rate the Olympics on for this year? What are your thoughts on the Olympics, maybe in general? All right. Well, thank you, Michael, for the question. As always, we do appreciate it. I'm going to be a letdown for some people out there, maybe. I'm not a big Olympics guy. I'm really not. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'm very happy for these people that are out there working hard, training, and then the time comes when they can compete for your country. And, look, if you gave me the opportunity, I'm sure I would love it too. But I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, shall we say? It doesn't really make get my engine roaring, shall we say? I don't know. It doesn't excite me, really. I watch a couple of competitions here and there. I'll watch the boxing because I like that. Wrestling, sure. 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, men and women's. I'll watch that. I'll watch the swimming mainly for Caleb Dressel because he's got that cool, chest to sleeve tattoo thing. I want that thing. That thing is awesome. And I wish I had, the chisel like he does to be able to wear that thing. But I want something like that. That's so... I mean, I don't have any tattoos yet, although I almost got one this week. But safe to say, one, the price, and two, I probably would have fainted in the chair. And I don't need somebody making fun of me while I was there. But Katie Ledecky's cool. I mean, it's just, for me, I got to, know the athletes. There's got to be good stories behind the athletes, or I got to know the athletes. Because I got to be honest, outside of, a couple, the American ones that I follow, Simone Biles, Katie Ledecky, Caleb Dressel, Noah Lyles, Sha'Carri Richardson, right? Watching those events that they competed in with, track and field, swimming, and and obviously gymnastics, there's not a lot of athletes I'm really following on and looking at and going through and saying, oh yeah, I'm going to watch the pole vaulting or the hammer throw and all this. I'm sure it's very enthralling. Sure it is. But for me, I struggle to be able to follow through on watching every single event in the Olympics. It just doesn't catch me on that level. It really doesn't. It just doesn't. So, I mean, look, outside of them, the only other Olympian that I could say that I really know of is Imani Khalif, the women's boxer from Algeria who got steamrolled by the media because people were claiming she was transgender when she's just a woman who has masculine features due to some sort of disease or something like that, apparently. I'm not exactly sure on the logistics of it, but it was just embarrassing and completely degrading and disgusting to see how she got treated. And then the other one was the meme that's been going around, which was the Turkish guy who's the spot shooter, who everybody else had all this headgear on and everything to aim and shoot. And he's just there, like a 50-year-old dad who just dropped his kids off at the pool and just came over, picks up the gun, glasses on, nothing on him, and just points and shoots, and he wins silver, right? That's probably all the athletes I know outside of the U.S. athletes that I named. So, I mean, it's not that I don't enjoy the Olympics. I'm not going to watch the opening of it. I'm not going to watch the close of it. It doesn't really, men's basketball is the only other one I maybe watched a little bit of. And I really watched the highlights on YouTube more than anything. I didn't really watch the games. I really just watched the highlights, and that's it. Because I knew they were going to win. The only time I actually watched the game on a screen and watched it from start to finish, or really from halftime to finish, was the Serbia game, where they almost lost, because I was like, whoa, Serbia might upset them? I got to see this game. That was a good game. That was a really good game. Other than that, it's not mine. It's not my thing. Winter Olympics, kind of. I'm more of a World Cup kind of guy. I'm a soccer fan. I like football. So when the World Cup comes around, when Euros come around, when Copa America comes around, when these things that come around that are international competitive events for soccer come about, I'm more enthralled with watching those than I am the Olympics, really. And I did watch soccer in these Olympics. I did. I was very impressed. Liked what I saw. But I also enjoy that sport, and I think that's the thing. If you enjoy those sports, you are more willing to watch them. If you competed in those sports, you're more. That's the thing with wrestling. I wrestled in high school, so I'm more willing to watch wrestling because of that. You know, I boxed in my free time. I had a friend who was Golden Gloves, so I was really into boxing growing up. So I watch boxing now, and boxing's been a big part of my thing. So I don't hate the Olympics. I'm nonchalant with them. I'm very meh with them. Blech, whatever. It is what it is. Worlds competing with each other. That's great. The other thing I don't like too is the oversaturation of red, white, and blue. We got to be like all America. Like, I'm not a very patriotic person to be. Like, I'm the dude, like you say it's 4th of July, I'll wear the Puerto Rican flag just because I think people are just going to spite me on it. Just, you know. Plus, if you are any sort of anybody knows, if you're any percentage of Puerto Rican, you have to have at least one item of clothing that has the flag on it. I don't know why. It's just the thing. Like, apparently, in my family, I have to have the flag somewhere on my arm. I don't know why. It's just like I have to have it. Which is apparently that's part of the plan, according to my family members. I'm getting a half and half flag, half Polish and half Puerto Rican. I don't know how. That'll be interesting. I'm not paying for it. I'm just letting y'all know. You see this, I'm not paying for it. But I don't know. Olympics, they are what they are. If you enjoy them, great. If you don't, there's other things on TV. That's what I'll say. All right. Thank you for the question, Michael. I appreciate it. And then this one came from Antoine. Antoine is from Antoine. Sorry, my brain just went somewhere else. Antoine is from Houston, Texas. And he says, I got to know, Andrew, if you read the article from Athlon Sports talking about the Colorado football situation where it was described as being a real-life Grand Theft Auto. I did. I read the article, and I came across going, knew it, called it. There's no structure there whatsoever. I had a distinctive feeling there was going to be that kind of an issue. According to the article, guys are fighting in the locker room. Guys are arguing with each other. Justice is being taken into hands. Apparently, Cormani McLean was being bullied by some athletes in the locker room. Like, there's some really hard stuff in here that you go, does Deion have control of this thing? And that's always been one of my big questions when Deion Sanders took over Colorado. When you move up from a program like Jackson State into a program like Colorado, not that I would know firsthand experience, but from what I've gauged from coaches I've gotten to know over time, when you move from a smaller level to the bigger level, you find yourself going, oh, there's a lot more work that needs to be done. In my estimation, I think Deion Sanders has done very minimal work, apparently, according to this article. He's done very minimal work in making sure that the Colorado football program is intact and that everybody is managing their situation well. He hasn't done that work. He hasn't been able to actually say, I'm in control. He thinks he's in control. He acts like he's in control, but is that for the cameras? And then when the cameras go off, he's just a completely different person? Because we've now heard from other players that have been there that first year with Colorado that have left, or that were subsequently told you should transfer because I'm bringing in my own luggage, according to him, that he didn't really know guys' names. He didn't really try to get to know a lot of people if you weren't one of his stars. And that's another thing that's been alleged. There's a hierarchy in Colorado. And call me shocked, guess who's at the top of the pyramid? His two sons, Shadir and Shiloh. And who else? His quote-unquote adopted son, Travis Hunter. Shocker that the three guys, the two guys that have the same name as him and the one guy that is his greatest recruit ever, I think, for him as a coach, are the guys that are getting all the favorable attention. I mean, there's stories out there that the Sanders brothers missed practices because they went and did like a modeling show. Now, I get it. NIL, you got an opportunity to do something. If you asked me in college, hey, Andrew, you have an opportunity to go do like this walkthrough on a model show. Would you want to do it? I get to dress in a fancy suit and you get to pay me money for doing it? Heck yeah, I want to do that. Instead of go to football practice? Are you kidding me? Absolutely. You can think what you want to think. I would do it in a heartbeat. But it also would say something about me, I think, would it not? If you're the star quarterback and you decide to now leave practice because you want to go to, some sort of, gala or whatever it is for clothing, you think guys are going to start talking a little bit? You think guys are going to maybe go, does this guy really care that much? Should we care that much? That becomes a topic of conversation. I think the article has some legitimacy to itself. It seems to be, quote, players anonymous, yes, but there seems to be legitimate concern potentially for the University of Colorado and their football team and what's going on there. Is it lack of institutional control by Deion Sanders? Not necessarily. Are there infractions potentially being made there? There's a good chance. They brought in Warren Sapp to be like the quality control coach who's going to be like, I'm in control. I'm in charge. I'm going to make sure that you guys listen to me. And all I remember, and that was a video he put out there, or Colorado put out there, and all I remember thinking was, these guys probably are looking at him going, we can't take him seriously. He's a former NFL pro, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, screaming at them like he's like the guy in prison trying to scare the kids straight, right? Like how, like we've all, I'm sure, have any, what's it called? Scared Straight, right? That's the name of the show, I think, Scared Straight, where they bring in a bunch of kids and they got the prisoners that go, oh, I will eat you. Like they say ridiculous stuff to these kids to try and be like don't steal bikes and don't, pick on the little kids. And it's just like, I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. If you told me right now, as a teenager, I went into that kind of thing, I probably would end up being the person that was like laughing in their face. And they probably would get like right in my face maybe, but like I would be like, this is stupid. This is dumb. Like who's going to listen to that? What kid nowadays is really going to listen to that guy who's screaming at them saying, I'm going to show you, I'm going to be in control of you. I own you. I'm going to be the one that tells you what's up. You haven't been living right. Like, we get it. You're trying to give a good speech. But how many of those guys are really going to buy in? I already had very big doubts for Colorado the first year. This second year, I still have very hard reserves against how they're going to do this time around. That article, I think it feels scathing. It feels like a hard one for them to be able to bounce back on. I don't know if they'll be able to do it. This is going to be tough for them. It was already tough enough for them for what it was. I just don't know if they're going to be able to handle the situation they've fallen into where you're getting scrutinized by the media, you're getting scrutinized by fans, you're getting scrutinized by football fans in general, right? And now you're going into a conference that you once were in with the hopes of potentially dominating it, yet there are still teams that are in that conference now like Utah and Arizona, and even Baylor, I will say, that are going to make it very hard for you to live. And Oklahoma and Texas Tech, they're going to say, you left, you came back, and now you think you're going to own us? No, that's not how this works. Hell, even UCF, I would say, has a pretty good shot at being a team that might be able to upset Colorado. I don't know if they play them or not. But I think that I would give them a good chance. I would give them a good chance. I frankly, if I'm Deion Sanders right now, I would really think about the people that I'm bringing into my program. The quality and the character of the ones that I get it. These guys are really good athletes. You've been able to recruit them. That's cool, man. But I mean, you had a 4 or 5-star recruit that decommitted. You've had other 4 or 5-star recruits that have decommitted. And according to one guy that I was able to get in contact with some of his friends on, he said, listen, according to what the guy said he was not really sure if the environment there was just right. Fair enough. You got to go to the right school. You got to go to the right environment. That's going to set you up for success. Colorado's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how the season's going to go. I'm enthralled to see if they're going to be able to use this to either bounce back and be stronger, or if it's just going to be more of the same. We're going to find out. But that's going to do it for us here with the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for asking them again. Any questions or comments, xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. And that's going to do it for our show here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad to be back. So glad to be back in a rhythm, back in that mode. I've missed you guys. I appreciate you guys just kind of hanging on with me. Again, I will be better with updating you guys when we can't go. Some things may come up every once in a while, and I do apologize. We will give you guys the updates on that when it comes. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out any more of us at any given time when we're live or not live, you can also hit us up at youtube.com/xbombsports. You can also check us out at twitch.tv/xbombsports as well. Anything that you want to find on updates on us, again, we're going to get better with that stuff. It will be on the Facebook page. That'll be facebook.com/xbombsports2. If you want to be able to also follow us on our social medias, at xbombsports on Twitter and on Instagram. Both are the same. Just check them out. Follow them both. Give us some likes, some comments, questions. Hit us up in the messenger. Anything like that you guys want us to talk about, always let us know there too. And again, the email, xbsportsofficial@gmail.com for any questions, comments, things like that too. On top of that as well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Blow the Whistle every Monday and Wednesday. Again, today we're not going for Blow the Whistle. They've got some work they need to do so we can make the thing look really nice and pretty, because we got some new stuff coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make this thing look really special. Like we were just driving in a Mercedes. We're going to try and make this sucker look like we're driving in a good old Ferrari. That's what we're aiming for right now in this thing. So be on the lookout for that, ladies and gentlemen. But that's every Monday and every Wednesday as well. We also got Bad Karma Wrestling every Friday as well, too. Check them out, 11 o'clock. It's our man David Dykstra along with Nick Johnson. They're talking about wrestling. They'll be talking about it probably this week, so be on the lookout for that. They got a lot of news to break down for the week. A lot of good things have happened in wrestling. A lot of bad things happen in wrestling, too. So be on the lookout for that one. And as well, too, on Friday, before you catch Bad Karma Wrestling, come on over and check out Tony Smallzik's Big J. Subsequently, they weren't going last week. They also didn't go the week before. It's okay, though, but fret not. We will be hopefully back this week. We will see. We will let you guys know if you want to check them out. Thank you guys, too, by the way. You guys have been sending in the emails for the recommendations for other video games for them to play. They're right now playing It Takes Two. I think they're about halfway through it, if I want to remember correctly. It's been a while since I played that game, but you guys have been recommending a lot of different games for them to play, from Mario Party, Mario Kart. We've gotten all kinds of stuff from other scary games for them to check out. You also have recommended a lot of terrible games too, which I am kind of intrigued for them to check out. I'm going to talk to Big J about that, and we'll get with Tony Smalls here, and we may have a discussion on that to figure out what that next move is. But they're going to keep playing It Takes Two, so make sure to check that out as well, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. We will see you guys, as always, next time. I appreciate it. Love you guys all. Have a great day. Have a great week as well. We'll see you guys in the next show. And as always, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.